Session 9, January 27th, 1981. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and light of our infinite Creator. We communicate now. We are definitely going to make the Law of One the primary portion of this book. I apologize for getting sidetracked on these subjects. We're in the position of, shall we say, beating around as to what direction to go with the book to begin with. For this reason, I have asked few questions, and will ask few more questions in the early part of these sessions. That will be somewhat meaningless with respect to application of the Law of One, because of my own ignorance of what I'm doing. However, I expect to become more proficient rapidly while we go on. There are a couple questions that are probably meaningless, but if I could get them out of the way, they're bothering me a little bit. Is it possible for you to suggest a publisher for this book? I am Ra. No. Is it possible for you to tell us anything in our past incarnations, our past experiences before this incarnation? I am Ra. It is possible. However, such information as this is carefully guarded by your mind, body, spirit, being totality, so that your present space-time experiences will be undiluted. Let us scan for harmless material for your beingness. I am, in the distortion of desire for your freedom from preconception, able to speak over generally. There have been several times when this group worked and dwelt together. The relationship varied. There is balanced karma, as you call it. Each thus the teacher of each. The work has involved healing, understanding, the use of the energy, earth, and work in aid of civilizations, which called, just as your sphere has done, and have we come. This ends the material which we consider harmless. The healing exercises that you gave us are of such a nature that it is best to concentrate on a particular exercise at a time. I would like to ask at this time what exercise I should concentrate on, possibly a little exercise change, should concentrate on, say tonight. I am Ra. Again, to direct your judgment is an intrusion upon your space-time continuum distortion called future. To speak of past or present within our distortion judgment limits is acceptable. To guide rather than teach learn is not acceptable to our distortion in regards to teach learning. We instead can suggest a process whereby each chooses the first of the three exercises given in order in which we gave them, which you, in your discernment, feel is not fully appreciated by your mind-body-spirit complex. This is the proper choice, building from the foundation, making sure the ground is good for the building. We have assessed for you the intensity of the effort in terms of energy expended. You will take this in mind and be patient, for we have not given a short or easy program of consciousness learned teaching. The way I understand the process of evolution of a planetary population is that a population has a certain amount of time to progress. This generally divided into three 25,000-year cycles. At the end of 75,000 years, the planet progresses itself. What caused this situation to come about? The preciseness of the years, 25,000 years, etc. What set this up to begin with? I am Ra. Visualize, if you will, the particular energy which outward flowing and inward congulating formed the tiny realm of the creation governed by your Council of Saturn. Continue seeing the rhythm of this process. The living flow creates rhythm, which is as inevitable as one of your timepieces. Each of your planetary entities began the first cycle when the energy nexus was able in that environment to support such mind, body, spirit experiences. Thus, each your planetary entities is on a different cyclical schedule, as you might call it. The timing of these cycles is measurement equal to a portion of intelligent energy. This intelligent energy offers a type of clock. The cycles move as precisely as a clock strikes your hour. Thus, the gateway from intelligent energy to intelligent infinity opens, regardless of circumstances, on the striking of the hour. The first entities on this planet, what was their origin? Where were they before they were on this planet? I am Ra. The first entities upon your planet were water, fire, air, and earth. The people we now have, the first people, like us, where did they come from? How did they evolve? I am Ra. You speak of third density experience. The first of those to come here were brought from another planet in your solar system, called by you the Red Planet, Mars. The planet's environment became inhospitable to third density beings. The first entities, therefore, were of this race, as you call it, manipulated somewhat by those who were guardians at the time. What race is that? How did they get from Mars to here? I am Ra. The race is a combination of the mind-body-spirit complexes of those of your so-called Red Planet, and a careful series of genetic adjustments made by the guardians of that time. The entities arrived, or were preserved for the experience upon your sphere by a type of birthing which is non-reproductive, but consists of preparing genetic material for the incarnation of the mind-body-spirit complexes of those entities from the Red Planet. Then I'm assuming what you're saying is the Guardians transferred the race here after the race had died from the physical as we know it on Mars. Is that correct? I am Ra. That is correct. Guardians obviously were acting with an understanding of the Law of One in doing this. Can you explain the application of the Law of One in this process? I am Ra. The Law of One was named by these Guardians as the beginning of wisdom of the Guardians in contact with the entities from the Red Planet, thus melding the social memory complex of the Guardian race and the Red Planet race. It, however, took an increasing amount of distortion into the application of the Law of One from the viewpoint of other Guardians, and it is from this beginning action that the quarantine of this planet was instituted. For it was felt that the free will of those of the Red Planet had been abridged. Were the entities of the Red Planet following the Law of One prior to leaving the Red Planet? The entities of the Red Planet were attempting to learn the laws of love, which from one of the primal distortions of the Law of One. However, the tendencies of these people towards bellicose actions caused such difficulties in the atmosphere and environment of their planet that it became inhospitable for third density experience before the end of its cycle. Thus, the Red Planet entities were harvested and continued into your illusion to attempt to learn the law of love. How long ago did this transfer occur from the Red Planet to Earth? I am Ra. In your time, this transfer occurred approximately 75,000 years ago. 75,000 years ago? I am Ra. This is approximately correct. Were there any entities of this form that I am now, 2 arms, 2 legs, on this planet before the transfer occurred? I am Ra. There have been visitors in your sphere at various times for the last 4 million of your years, speaking approximately. These visitors do not affect the cycling of the planetary sphere. It was not third density in its environment until the time previously mentioned. Then there were second density entities here prior to approximately 75,000 years ago. What type of entities were these? The second density is the density of the higher plant life and animal life which exists without the upward drive towards the infinite. These second density beings are of an octave of consciousness, just as you find various orientations of consciousness among the conscious entities of your vibration. Did any of these second density entities have shapes like ours? 2 arms, 2 legs, head, and walk upright on 2 feet? I am Ra. The 2 higher of the sub-vibrational levels of second density beings had the configuration of the biped as you mentioned. However, the erectile movement which you experienced was not totally affected by these beings, who were tending towards a leaning forward, barely leaving the quadrupedal position. Where did these beings come from? Were they a product of evolution, as it's understood by our scientists? Were they evolved from the original material of Earth as you spoke of? I am Ra. This is correct. Do these beings evolve from second density to third density? I am Ra. This is correct. Although no guarantee can be made of the number of cycles it will take for an entity to learn the lessons of consciousness of self, which are the prerequisite for transition to third density. Is there any particular race of people on our planet, Bao, who are incarnated here from second density? I am Ra. There are no second density consciousness complexes here on your sphere at this time. However, there are 2 races which use the second density form. One is the entities of the planetary sphere you call Maldek. These entities are working their understanding complexes through a series of what you would call karmic restitutions. They dwell within your deeper underground passageways and are known to you as Bigfoot. The other race is that being offered a dwelling and density by guardians who wish to give the mind-body-spirit complexes of those who are in this density at the time appropriately engineered physical vehicles, as you would call these chemical complexes, in the event that there is what you would call nuclear war. I didn't understand what these vehicles or beings were appropriate for the event of nuclear war. I am Ra. There are beings which exist as instinctual second density beings, which are being held in reserve from what you would call a gene pool, in case these body complexes are needed. These body complexes are greatly able to withstand the rigors of radiation, which the body complexes you now inhabit could not do. Where are these body complexes located? I am Ra. The body complexes of the second race dwell in uninhabited deep forest. They are many in various places over the surface of your planet. Are they Bigfoot-type creatures? I am Ra. This is correct, although we do not call these Bigfoot, as they are scarce and very able to escape detection. The first race is less able to be aware of proximity of other mind-body-spirit complexes, but these beings are very able to escape due to their technological understandings before the incarnations here. These entities of the glowing eyes are those most familiar to your peoples. Then there are 2 different types of Bigfoot, correct? I am Ra. This will be the final question. There are 3 types of Bigfoot, if you will accept that vibratory sound complex, used for 3 such different races of mind-body-spirit complexes. The first 2 we have described. The third is a thought form. We plan to do a second session later today if the instrument is capable, and I'd like to ask if there's anything we can do to aid the instrument's comfort. I am Ra. This instrument will require some adjustment of the tender portions of her body complex. The distortions are due to the energy-centered blockage you would call pineal. I leave you in the love of light of the one Creator. Go, therefore, rejoicing in the power and peace of the one Creator. Adonai.